Terence Crawford shut down talk of a fight with Ilia Topuria, making it clear he had no interest. He said Topuria was nowhere near the level of Conor McGregor and shouldn't even be compared to him. Crawford admitted he didn't know who Topuria was, had never seen him fight despite watching plenty of MMA, and questioned what money such a matchup would bring. He pointed out that McGregor was a global star while Topuria wasn't close to that status, stressing the difference was night and day.
Now that this has become a thing and you see the interest, you have interest in fighting him.
For what?
Money.
Listen, what money would I get out of fighting him? Tell me how much I'm gonna get out of fighting him.
Well, I know Floyd made a lot, obviously, to fight Conor.
He's not nowhere near on the level of Conor McGregor. Let's be real. Stop it. Don't ever compare him to Conor. Conor was here. He's here. Like I said, I don't know this guy. I never seen this guy fight. And I watch a lot of MMA, you know what I mean? Maybe, you know what I mean, I'm slipping. Maybe he's a good fighter, you know what I mean? I don't know. But I honestly never seen this guy fight, for sure. You know, and I've seen Conor McGregor fight a lot of times. Just saying.
Okay.
Him and Conor, like, it's night and day.
However, Ilia Topuria fired back, saying Crawford's claim of not knowing him was false. They had met, and Crawford even wished him luck. Topuria warned that Crawford's chin would be exposed soon and declared he would represent real MMA fighters, pitching himself as the true pound-for-pound best against the boxer. Ilia Topuria said, "You say you are an MMA fan, but you don't even know who I am? Interesting. The first time we met, you told me good luck this week with your fight. Your memory fails you, and soon your chin will too. I'll represent the entire MMA community, pound-for-pound #1 in real fights versus the pound-for-pound boxer." Terence Crawford admitted he didn't even know who Ilia Topuria was when he walked out to the same entrance music. He told reporters he had never seen Topuria fight and wasn't concerned about him at all. Crawford called it crazy how things played out, stressing again that he had no idea about Topuria before the talk of a potential fight began.
Honestly, you walking out to his song, did you not know that that was the song he always walks out to?
To be honest, I never even seen this dude fight. I ain't even gonna lie. You know, I'm not worried about that guy at all. You know, it's crazy how, you know, things work, you know. I didn't even know who he was.
Ilia Topuria mocked Terence Crawford for using his walkout music after calling him drunk, joking that he would teach Crawford how to dance mariachi in the ring. He also taunted further by saying he'd keep a round aside for Canelo once he was done. Ilia Topuria said, "First he calls me drunk, then he walks out to my song. Crawford, whenever you want, I'll teach you how to dance that mariachi in the ring, and Canelo, I'll save you a round after him." Terence Crawford recalled meeting Ilia Topuria at a UFC event, saying Topuria shook his hand and greeted him, but he didn't even know who he was at the time. Later, Crawford saw Topuria online claiming he would knock him out in the first round, which Crawford called fake. He argued that if Topuria truly wanted the fight, he should have said it to his face instead of talking about it behind a keyboard. Crawford added that if he wanted to fight someone, he would approach them directly rather than making bold claims online.
When he seen me at the UFC, he came up and shaking my hand and saying, "What's up to me?" I didn't even know who he was, you know, but then I see him online talking about he had knocked me out and in the first round and this and that and this. Well, if you wanted to fight me, you had the opportunity to tell me like, "Hey man, I want to fight you. What's up?" Like, that's fake. You know, if I don't like somebody, if I want to fight them for whatever reason, I would have been like, "Hey, what's up, man? What you think about me and you fighting?" I'm not gonna go hide behind, you know, the keyboard and things like that, and then be like, "Oh, I knocked this dude out, this and that and this." I think that's fake.
Terence Crawford believes Ilia Topuria is just clout chasing. He says Topuria would probably get in the ring for the right paycheck, since that's what fighters do, but insists he isn't even worth talking about. Crawford dismisses him as irrelevant and sees the call-outs as nothing more than attention seeking.
Do you think he actually wants to fight you, or do you think, as the kids would say, he's just trying to clout chase?
I definitely think he's trying to clout chase. I think he'll definitely get in the ring with me for the right check. You know, that's what we all do it for. But at the same time, you know, I think, you know, he's I don't know what the fuck he's doing. I don't know what he thinking this way. You know, ain't even nothing to talk about.
On the other hand, Dana White dismissed the idea of a crossover fight between Ilia Topuria and Terence Crawford, making it clear he had no interest in the matchup.
One last one for you, Dana. You're now officially promoting boxing shows. We have UFC lightweight champion Ilia Topuria saying he's going to knock out Terence Crawford. Can we expect some crossover boxing matches like you did with Mayweather and McGregor moving forward?
I certainly hope not.
However, Ilia Topuria expressed confidence that he could convince Dana White to let him box. He said it was something truly he wanted and believed Dana would support him in chasing that dream. While he admitted it might take some convincing, he was certain it would eventually happen.
Obviamente, es algo que quiero hacerlo y no creo que él me diga que no a querer cumplir mi sueño, ¿no? Yo creo que él es una persona que me apoyará, tendré su apoyo, no tengo ninguna duda. Será un tema de conversación a convencerlo, pero estoy seguro que se aprenderá.
Chael Sonnen also reacted to Ilia Topuria's call-out of Terence Crawford and dismissed the fight as unrealistic. He questioned Topuria's claim about knocking Crawford out and criticized MMA fighters for constantly chasing boxing. Sonnen argued that if Topuria truly believed in it, he would have gone into boxing from the start, while praising Francis Ngannou for actually taking that risk.
Ilia Topuria could knock out Bud Crawford on first contact. Is there any truth to it? Why is it always the MMA guys gotta go box? It doesn't sell. James Toney and the UFC lost a whole bunch of money with him. If Ilia Topuria really could beat up Terence Crawford, why didn't he go into boxing? Ilia is our champion. After seeing Conor, who could not make an amateur Olympic team, go 30 minutes with Floyd, after seeing Francis Ngannou, who could not get a medal at the amateur, beat Tyson Fury according to one of the judges, I'll stand with Ilia. And how come it doesn't go the other way? And how come, if it's true, you didn't do it? Say whatever you want about Francis. Francis walked away from an active contract to pursue a dream that he believed to be true.
On the other hand, Islam Makhachev criticized Ilia Topuria for refusing to defend his belt against the #1 contender. He said Topuria is avoiding Arman Tsarukyan and even mentioned that Ilia had written online that he would rather retire than fight him. Makhachev highlighted Tsarukyan's strong winning streak and described him as the champion's toughest test, making it clear that he believed Ilia is ducking the matchup.
Я хотел задать вопрос Исламу. Считаешь ли ты Армана самым серьезным соперником для Ильи? И не кажется ли тебе, что Топурия избегает его?
Ну, что избегает, не секрет. Я уже видел там баталии в интернете, где он говорит, я лучше завершу карьеру, чем буду с ним драться. И я думаю на данный момент, что Арман набрал хорошие обороты, и это самый серьезный экзамен для чемпиона.
Islam Makhachev argued that the most logical fight for Ilia Topuria at lightweight is against Arman Tsarukyan. He said Tsarukyan had already proven he belonged at the top and believed his skills and mentality might be enough to give the champion his first loss.
На твой взгляд, сейчас самый справедливый бой за чемпионство в легком весе между Илией Топурией и Арманом Царукяном?
Ну да, конечно. Если кто-то когда-то, не знаю, в истории страховал бой, делал вес, он всегда дрался почти. Ну, я не помню в истории, чтобы не давали бой. Арман сделал последний турнир вес, подстраховал бой, и я думаю, он должен быть следующий. Он доказал, что у него же была проблема с весогонкой, он доказал, что может спускаться, гонять вес, и я думаю, что это самый актуальный бой на данный момент.
У кого было бы больше всего шансов на победу?
Ну, я думаю, если честно, если Арман выйдет с правильным настроем, то он справится.
Daniel Cormier also backs Arman Tsarukyan as the rightful challenger, stressing that his consistency sets him apart from the rest of the division. He says Tsarukyan's run has already proven he belongs at the top and makes him the clear option for the next title fight.
I don't understand how anyone in this weight class can say that they should get a title shot over Arman Tsarukyan. He was the #1 contender for the last year. He was in line to fight for the belt in Los Angeles, and then it didn't happen. It was because his back went out, right? Some people were saying it was a weight issue. Well, today he stepped on the scale as a backup fighter and looked in phenomenal shape. It just feels like Arman Tsarukyan should be next to fight for the championship.
However, Renato Moicano dismissed Arman Tsarukyan as overrated and questioned his chances against Ilia Topuria. He predicted Ilia's power and relentless style would be too much for Arman. Moicano also mentioned that Tsarukyan wasn't someone he would care to interact with outside the cage.
Arman Tsarukyan, eu não acho ele bom do jeito que a galera fala. Eu acho que o Topuria ia fuder ele. Não tenho nada contra ele, mas eu também não gosto dele, entendeu? Não tenho nada contra ele. Não é um cara que eu seria amigo, entendeu? Não é um cara que eu seria amigo. Porque Eu não sei, eu acho ele arrogante, entendeu? Eu acho ele arrogante. Eu não gosto de pessoas que se acham melhores do que as outras, entendeu? Porque você pode ser melhor do que outra pessoa. Certamente.
Meanwhile, Ilia Topuria revealed that negotiations for his next fight haven't even started yet and admitted he doesn't know who the opponent will be. He explained that the UFC usually makes that decision and he's prepared to face whoever they put in front of him.
Para los tres rivales posibles de peso ligero que más suenan, que serían Paddy Pimblett, Arman Tsarukyan y Justin Gaethje, has dicho que no sabes quién será tu rival, pero yo quería preguntarte quién crees que es el que más se lo merece y aparte, ¿cuál es la pelea que más te gustaría perder?
Realmente no me importa a cuál de los tres me voy a enfrentar, es simplemente unos acuerdos con la UFC. Realmente tampoco hemos entrado en la negociación sobre mi próximo combate, pero en cuanto me llamen, ellos eligen siempre el nombre, a mí no me importa. ¿A quién quieren?
Ilia Topuria shared that talks for his next fight were underway, but confirmed it would not be against Arman Tsarukyan, Justin Gaethje or Paddy Pimblett.
Antes de empezar a preguntar a los peleadores, Ilia, tengo un par de preguntitas rápidas para ti. La primera de ellas hemos visto hace muy poco tiempo compartiendo ya imágenes de entrenamientos de fuerza en redes sociales que habitualmente forma parte de un pre-training camp. Hay muchos aficionados españoles que se están preguntando ¿cuándo defenderá Ilia Topuria su cinturón del peso ligero?
Bueno, no tengo ni idea, la verdad. Estamos en ello, estamos en medio de la negociación de todos, ajustando el calendario del año que queda, del próximo año, así que no tengo nada.
Y una segunda antes de pasar a los peleadores, Ilia, ¿algún nombre que tengas en mente? Se habla de Arman Tsarukyan, de Justin Gaethje, de la posibilidad de Paddy Pimblett.
Ninguno, la verdad. De momento no tengo ninguno.
Gracias.
Arman Tsarukyan also reveals that he's targeting a return in October or November and has already spoken with Dana White about potential opponents. He says the UFC is looking at Abu Dhabi or Qatar for the matchup, with names like Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker, and Paddy Pimblett in the mix. Out of those options, Tsarukyan makes it clear that Paddy is the fight he wants most.
Хочет вернуться в январе-феврале. А я уже давно не дрался, и я думаю, что мне нужно будет подраться в октябре-ноябре. И я разговаривал с боссом вчера. Они сказали, что, может быть, организуют бой с кем-нибудь.
В Абу-Даби.
В Абу-Даби, либо в
Катаре. Это очень круто было бы.
Либо в Катаре.
В Катаре хотят турнир?
Да, в Катаре турнир хотят. Может быть, Гейджи, может быть, Хукер, может быть,
О.
Пэдди.
Слушай, а ты кого сам бы предпочел бы из этого списка?
Пэдди.
Пэдди? Но Пэдди нацелен на Илью тоже, как и ты.
Выход на Илью можно через этот бой. Да, аккуратно выйти топором на квартиру, идти дальше.
Arman Tsarukyan explains how he plans to approach a fight with Ilia Topuria, saying he wants to pressure him with striking and kicks. He points out that in Topuria's earlier fights, he slows down as the rounds go on, which he believes gives him the advantage. He also questions Topuria's resume, bringing up the Bryce Mitchell fight and arguing that if Mitchell can take him down and control him, it shows Topuria isn't as elite as many claim. Arman Tsarukyan said, "I'm gonna strike him, I'm gonna kick him. I watched his first fight and he was resting a little bit. He got tired so much, and he never fought with wrestlers like me. Bryce Mitchell is the worst fighter in 145. He took him down and held him from the crazy position, and I can tell he's not high level. I mean, it's not WWE. I can't wait to show everybody." Arman Tsarukyan expresses full confidence that he can handle Ilia Topuria with ease, predicting that a win pushes Topuria far down the pound-for-pound list. He says, taking Topuria down is simple, arguing that Topuria poses little threat on the ground and won't be able to stop him from controlling the fight. Arman Tsarukyan said, "I'll send Topuria back to the top 15 pound-for-pound rankings. For me, it's easier to fight Topuria than Charles Oliveira, and then you can just go 1,000 times to take him down because he's not going to try to choke you or something." Meanwhile, Khamzat Chimaev weighs in on a potential showdown between Ilia Topuria and Arman Tsarukyan, calling it the type of fight that should happen this year. He sees it as an ideal matchup, with Arman's wrestling and Ilia's striking setting up a real test to determine who the better fighter is. Despite being close with both, he admits he's excited to see them square off in the cage.
We know you're kind of friends with Ilia too, and you're friends with Arman. Do you see them fighting this year?
I hope so. It's a good fight for the both guys. So fighting is, we need to know who is the best fighter in the world. So the both guys is best fighters now. So I will be happy to watch that fight. Yeah, it's a crazy fight. Arman is good moves, He has a good kick, good wrestling, and the other guy has a good jiu-jitsu, a good puncher, you know, so it would be cool to watch that fight.
Furthermore, Khabib Nurmagomedov sees Arman Tsarukyan as the clear favorite over Ilia Topuria, giving him an 80-20 advantage. He praises Arman's blend of wrestling, ground control, and striking, along with his improved fight IQ and composure. Khabib also points to Tsarukyan's size, strength, and constant pressure, predicting that he's the physically superior fighter inside the cage.
Выиграет он при этом за счет борьбы, правильно? За счет ММА стиля. Но это не вольная борьба. Но будет проходить, да? Арман может повалить, у него хорошие локти в партере. Очень хороший локти. Может бороться, разбаривать, спину забирать. А вот в эту опасную дистанцию с Топурией просто не зайдет. Не зайдет, слишком уже есть бои, он уже может посмотреть, изучить. Я, например, 80-20, я вижу победителем Армана. Я считаю, что его борьба, его прессинг, его говорить, это тоже надо учитывать. Он выше него почти на 10 сантиметров, если не ошибаюсь. И он больше него весом. И в день боя он будет больше него. И, конечно.
Khabib Nurmagomedov predicts that wrestling is the key factor if Ilia Topuria ever meets Arman Tsarukyan. He argues that Ilia is yet to face anyone with elite wrestling credentials, as nearly all of his past rivals rely on striking. Khabib even dares people to name a single opponent of Topuria's who consistently used wrestling as a weapon, maintaining that such a name doesn't exist.
Она всегда рулила. Да, особенно когда такие бои бывают. Мы все знаем, какая борьба у Холлоуэя и какая борьба у последнего Чарльза Оливера. У них ее практически нет. Они ударники. Они пошли на рожон и хапнули свое. А человек, который взял ногу, поборолся, взял корпус, поборолся. С такими он не дрался, он дрался со всеми ударниками. Волконовский не борется, другие не борются. С кем он дрался? Просто назови хоть одного, хоть чуть-чуть, даже не 50%, который хоть 20% использует борьбу.
Khabib Nurmagomedov acknowledges that the matchup is compelling and suggests the UFC may hesitate to book Tsarukyan against Topuria immediately. He admits Ilia currently has more star appeal, but maintains that if Arman scores a big win, the promotion will have no choice but to make the fight happen.
Я считаю, что, я знаю, что UFC опасаются, не хотят его так быстро убирать. Топурию. По-любому он как медийная личность в данный момент больше, чем Арман. Если даже вылезет что сейчас Арман, если один будет выиграть, куда его деть? Да, они же не могут его спрятать.
So, that's all we have from today's video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts about it in the comment section and subscribe to our channel to get more updates about this highly anticipated encounter.